From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley on this Tuesday, August 17th. We want to do a little shout out to our guy, Andrew Coffey. Happy birthday. He's 44 today. Boy, he doesn't look it. But anyways, here, we're back to the markets. You know what the thing is? Today is what we call Turnaround Tuesday. The markets are up sharply, you know, and here's the thing. Last week, people just got too pessimistic, too bearish, too everything in that regard. There was even something about a Zeppelin or, some type of mammoth breakdown of something smashing down to a 52-week low and all this stuff. But you know what? The bottom line is when the crowd gets too bearish or gets too positive, the markets tend to go the other way, and that's exactly what we're seeing today. Now, as far as the day's trade started, when at 6 o'clock in the morning when I woke up, the S&P was up about 5.5 to 6 handles. And then after our 7:30 economic reports, the S&P got up to about 10 to 11 higher. And then on the 8:30 open, we opened 9 handles higher. Now, this was right up against the resistance levels that we've been talking about, that we kept saying that, well, if the S&P ever gets above that level, well, that level was the 87.5 level. And we opened up at the 85.5 to 86 level, 1085, 1086.5 level. And then we proceeded to go up a little bit and then sell off down to the 84.30 level, or 84.20. And after we made that low, the S&P slowly started creeping up, while the NASDAQ future was very firm. Even during the decline and after the open in the S&P, the NASDAQ really was firm. And as that occurred, the S&P the premiums expanded a little bit, and then we run right into those buy stops that we've been talking about. Now, we've got a little saying, and it's called that it takes days and weeks to mark the market down and only one to bring them back, and that's what we're seeing here today. As far as the volumes were concerned, coming in this morning, we had about 265,000 minis traded before the open. And then right about the time that we're filming this, about 11:15 Chicago time, we've got about 1 million minis. So that means about 735,000 minis have traded, and that's pretty typical of what we've been seeing here kind of going into the latter parts of August. The markets are quiet. Now, what we want to do is we want to get back to a couple levels that we're looking at. The 1098 level is our next resistance level in the S&P, 1098, 1099. And above that, the 1104 level. Now, as far as the S&P cash statistics are concerned for the July expiration, they're very positive throughout the week. And we think with all the negative price action and all the sellers last week looking for the market to crater and go to zero, that it's a good possibility that we're going to resume course a little bit here on the upside. Now, we don't know how long that's going to last, but you know what the thing is, when it's like that old saying that I've got, and it kind of goes back and forth with the bus being too full. Really, when the crowd just gets so negative like they did last week, that's where our desk takes a look at it and says, hey, let's look for a good level on the downside. Let's see if we can find a support level. And really that level, it seems to have come in around the 1066.25 level, which was yesterday's Globex low. But anyways, as far as the rest of the day is concerned, we're thinking up. We're thinking up from here, even though we're sharply higher now. We have a bunch of stops that start around the 96.5 level up to the 1098 level, and then from 1099 up to 0304. So whether we get those levels today or we get them tomorrow, we think we're going to get them this week at some point. We'll be back with another update tomorrow.